Welcome to one of the most magical roads in the world, the Avenue of the Giants, tucked deep inside Northern California's redwood forests. The air is cooler, the light softer, and every tree around you has witnessed centuries. These giants, some rising over 300 feet tall, are among the oldest living things on Earth. Getting to the Avenue of the Giants from San Francisco is easy. Just head north on Highway 101 and stay on it for about 4 to 5 hours. You'll pass Santa Rosa, Ukiah, and Willits before the landscape opens into the Redwood region. Watch for the signs to Avenue of the Giants, State Route 254. You can enter from the south near Miranda or from the north near Pepperwood. Here's one of the most iconic stops, the drive-through tree. Carved into a living redwood, this quirky landmark has welcomed travelers for generations. Whether you drive through it, walk through it, or just stop for a photo, the drive-through tree is a simple joy, a symbol of the adventure waiting around every bend. And honestly, we weren't even sure if our SUV would fit through the drive-through tree. We sat there debating it, measuring it with our eyes, second-guessing everything when suddenly, this super friendly guy appeared right at the perfect moment. Thanks to him, we got the perfect drive-through shot for the video. It was almost closing time too, so the whole thing felt like a tiny miracle. If you're watching this, many greetings back to you. You truly saved the moment. So take it slow, let the forest reset you. And remember, in a world that moves fast, places like the Avenue of the Giants remind us to pause, look up, and appreciate just how small we really are. On the same grounds, we stumbled across another little surprise, the shrine, a small but charming landmark tucked between the redwoods. And with that, it's time to call off the day. Our hotel is waiting for us, a cozy stop in the middle of the redwoods, the perfect place to rest after a full day of exploring. The Eureka Inn is a historic landmark hotel that first opened in 1922. Built in an elegant Tudor Revival style, it quickly became one of the most iconic places to stay along the Northern California coast. The grand lobby, dark timber accents, and vintage details give the whole building a charming, old-world atmosphere. Today, the inn is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. All around the hotel, you'll see photos of prominent guests who stayed here over the decades: actors, musicians, writers, politicians, a whole gallery of famous faces that adds even more character to the place. Because it's a historic property, some rooms may feel simpler or more dated than modern hotels, but many visitors see that as part of the charm. Our room was the only one without a door peephole. Although the last number in the hallway ended at 361, our room was 362. And the next day, when we came back from breakfast, the picture above our bed was hanging crooked. We didn't know how to quickly pack our things and run. Joke by side, we slept very good. Eureka is known for its beautifully preserved Victorian and Queen Anne architecture, with colorful historic homes and ornate details found throughout the city. Welcome to Sequoia Park in Eureka, a peaceful escape tucked right into the heart of the city. The park features miles of soft, shaded trails winding through old-growth trees, ferns, and moss-covered logs. What makes this place truly special is how accessible it is. Within just a few minutes of the city center, you're suddenly surrounded by nature that feels wild, untouched, and deeply calming. We are now at the Fort Humboldt State Historic Park, a quiet green hilltop with sweeping views over Eureka. yet once the center of some of the earliest history and timber activity on the North Coast. Originally established in 1853, this fort was built to oversee the developing settlements and the booming lumber industry that shaped Humboldt County. Today, the fort is a peaceful lookout over the bay, a perfect spot for a picnic, a slow walk, or simply enjoying the open landscape. It's hard to imagine that this quiet place was once buzzing with soldiers, loggers, steam engines, and the first waves of settlement that would eventually shape the city of Eureka. After winding our way through endless redwood forests, the first touch of coastal beauty appears on the horizon. And just like that, our time in Humboldt State Park gently comes to a close. Welcome to Redwood National Park, a place where the quiet power of the forest meets the endless beauty of the Pacific Coast. This is a landscape shaped by time, by wind, by fog, and by giants that have stood here for more than 1,000 years. As we enter the forest, the world becomes softer. The air cools, the light dims, and everything slows down. Towering redwoods rise hundreds of feet overhead, disappearing into the mist like natural skyscrapers. Some of these trees were already ancient before the Roman Empire existed. Their trunks carry the history of wildfires, storms, and centuries of changing seasons. The redwoods are the tallest trees on Earth. Some soar more than 380 feet, or 116 meters, into the sky, taller than skyscrapers and the Statue of Liberty. Their trunks can grow wider than a small house, reaching up to 22 feet in diameter and weighing over 1 million pounds. Redwoods survive in a unique world shaped by fog. Up to 40% of the water they use comes from fog dripping off their needles, a natural mist that keeps the forest alive through dry summers. Their thick and fire-resistant bark can be up to a foot thick, allowing many redwoods to survive wildfires that would destroy other trees. Today, only 5% of the ancient redwood forest remains, making these protected areas some of the most precious landscapes on the planet. The redwoods are more than trees. They are living giants, timekeepers of the earth, and one of nature's greatest masterpieces. As the trail opens up, the forest gives way to one of the park's best-kept secrets: the rugged, untouched coastline. Here, the Pacific Ocean crashes against dramatic cliffs and long stretches of wild beach. Sea stacks rise from the water like broken pieces of ancient mountains. Perched on a rocky island just off the coast, the Crescent City Lighthouse has guided ships since 1856. And we are finally crossing from California to the Oregon coast. From above, the Oregon Islands Refuge looks like a world carved by the ocean. Endless blue water broken by rugged sea stacks, home to thousands of nesting seabirds and resting seals. These sea stacks shelter entire colonies of seabirds, marine life, and some of the last untouched coastal ecosystems in Oregon. Whether you're watching waves crash against the rocks, spotting seabirds soaring overhead, or standing at sunset as the islands turn to silhouettes, the Oregon Islands National Wildlife Refuge reminds us of the wild beauty that thrives when nature is left to be wild. As the sun sinks behind the dunes, the world quiets. Soft shadows stretch across the sand, and the sky paints the coastline in warm, peaceful colors. Due to the weather, we had to change our schedule a little bit. We called the day off, and we're staying in a beautiful motel booked last minute. Next day, we are jumping into the car and drive up the rough Oregon coastline. Honestly, I feel like on this trip I've seen more bridges than in my entire life. And the crazy part is how different and beautiful they all are. Welcome to the Oregon Dunes, one of the most unique landscapes on the entire West Coast. Stretching for almost 40 miles, these dunes form a rolling sea of sand, shifting endlessly with the wind and changing color with every hour of sunlight. This bright yellow snail moves quietly through the landscape, showing us that even the smallest creatures bring beauty to the world around them. Some dunes rise more than 500 feet high, creating a landscape that feels both wild and peaceful, like a desert meeting the ocean. Here, the forest, the coastline, and the sand all blend together, towering pines on one side, crashing waves on the other, and this incredible sandscape right in between. Just south of Newport, Seal Rock rises from the Pacific like a quiet monument to the coast. At low tide, seals and sea lions rest on these ancient basalt formations, shaped by millions of years of waves and wind. Unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate today, so we couldn't capture the rock in its most beautiful light. But we found this sweet seagull instead. Welcome to Depot Bay, Oregon, home to the smallest navigable harbor in the world, and one of the most powerful stretches of coastline in the Pacific Northwest. Winter storms can send waves crashing over the seawall, sometimes reaching heights of 20 to 30 feet, turning the town into a front-row seat for nature's power. The harbor itself is so narrow that boats must time their entry perfectly, slipping in between surging waves. On calmer days, it's one of the best places in the world for shore-based whale watching. This coastline reminds you that beauty and danger often exist side by side. It's time to make a lunch stop at a local fish restaurant where we can take a break from the windy weather. On our way up the Oregon coast, we pass places that don't try to impress. No luxury resorts, no polished storefronts, just small communities shaped by forest, fog, and fishing life. Life here moves with the tides and the weather. These towns aren't built for visitors. They're built for survival, for work, for staying, and maybe that's what makes them so real. Along this coast, simplicity isn't a trend, it's a way of life. And sometimes you get a surprise like this, wildlife crossing. On roads like these, you always have to pay attention. And once again, the beautiful rock stacks stand against the stormy ocean. We've arrived in Cannon Beach. This place was the reason we decided to visit Oregon, knowing from the start this wouldn't be a conventional vacation. No resorts, no easy weather. And then this, elk just sleeping on the lawn next to the street. Honestly, how great is that? In autumn, Cannon Beach shows its true character. Fewer people, stronger winds. Just wide beaches, moody skies, and waves that demand attention. After miles of road and rough coastline, Cannon Beach feels like a pause. Not quiet, but balanced. A place where land, sea, and sky finally meet. This isn't a soft beach destination. The sand is cold, the wind is sharp, and the ocean is powerful. And that's exactly why we came. Rock, water, wind, nothing extra. Just nature doing what it has always done. Cannon Beach wasn't a stop on our trip. It was the reason for the journey. And again, the elks. How cool is that? As we leave the Oregon coast behind, the sky begins to change. Heavy clouds roll in, low and thick, pressing down on the landscape. We cross a bridge that seems to go on forever, suspended between water and sky, wind pushing against the car. Gray reflections rippling below us. Moments like this remind you how small you really are out here. Oregon fades into the rearview mirror, but the feeling stays with us, wild, unpolished, honest. It's about accepting what the road gives you: rain, wind, uncertainty, especially in places like this, where nature doesn't adjust for comfort. Somewhere along this bridge, Oregon quietly ends. There's no big sign, no dramatic moment. Just a line crossed, a new chapter beginning. And suddenly, we're in Washington state. And now, the road leads on into Washington. Stay tuned for the next chapter, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.